Hi everyone. So I created this really fun, inspired by Disney's Little Mermaid look using Glamour Doll Ice pigment. I have a bunch of teals and blues right now, and I thought that that would be a really fun, cool look to do. Since my nails are super glittery, I thought that that could kind of mimic, you know, anything fun, Disney, mythical, inspirational, things like that. Since Disney's all about super shine and glimmer, I do have on more than my fair share of glimmer, shine, and sparkle on the face, but that's what Disney's all about. I think if you're going to go to a theme park or even a Disney event, or you're a huge Disney fan, you don't mind this sort of over-the-top sort of fun look. But even if you don't typically wear this much glitter, it's still winter, it's still very little short time past the holidays, so I think it's still somewhat appropriate to sort of glisten and enjoy the sparkle, since you may have bought a few shimmery things over the holidays anyways. So I hope that you enjoy this inspired by the Little Mermaid look. And I do have a more based off of the real Little Mermaid look from the cartoon. I'll put a link for that in the bottom bar. It's one of my older videos. And I will apologize first and foremost for the very bad skin in that video, because I was between skincare systems and everything like that. So it's one of my first videos I ever posted on YouTube, and I think my very first Disney tutorial. So I hope that you enjoy this look, and thank you so much for watching. So to get started on the look, I'm going to take Urban Decay Primer Potion in Eden, just the matte formula. And we're just going to dab some of that from the lid to the brow bone. I do this just to neutralize my lid color and also to create a primer that'll stay on my lids all day and enhance eyeshadow shades. So I'm just gonna blend that out all over the lid, brow, crease. I'm gonna take Glamour Doll Eyes Foil Me Base. I want these colors to be fairly intense, so I'm just gonna pop a little bit of that all over the eyelid. And we're just gonna allow it to set up a little bit. But first you want to make sure it's evenly distributed all over the eyelid. And then just allow that to finish drying. Now I like it to dry because otherwise it gets a very kind of hard crystallized look on the lid. It's up to you if you want to use it wet. I've seen others use it wet, so it's just your decision. Now I'm going to take Glamour Doll Eyes Drag Queen, and it's just a lovely sort of turquoisey color. I already have my blog post posted of these pigments, and this one is the green with the purple sort of undertones to it. So I'm just going to pick this up on a Delium Tools brush, and it is the number 77, and we're going to pat that all over the lid. Almost sort of mimicking her tail and her little shells, her little top. So I'm selecting this color. It's sort of a matte-ish type pigment with a shimmer in it, so you do have to sort of pat it down a little bit to get the really bold color payoff. Just pat that all over the lid. I'm going to go into He Loves Me Not from the regular Glamour Doll Eyes line. Looks like this. And we're just going to pat this into the crease. I'm going to take this up with the Delium Tools number 781 brush. And we're just going to start packing in the outer corner and go around the crease. This could mimic either Prince Eric's kingdom or King Triton's kingdom. Either way, which she'll live as a mermaid or a human, and then we're just going to blend that out. Using the tip of the brush, it's pretty easy to do. And then just sort of try to buff out the hard edge of Drag Queen with He Loves Me Not. I'm going to take a little bit of Fiji Mermaid. It is in actuality a very different green from Drag Queen. This one is a much bluer deep teal and it's got gold, like a gold undertone to it. And I'm just going to take this same color and start in the crease. I don't know if you could already see that difference between Drag Queen and Fiji Mermaid, but we're just going to move that around in the deep socket. And then just use little rotationular, if that's a word, movements. Just sort of buff out the strength of Fiji Mermaid a little bit into He Loves Me Not. When you feel like the colors are moving out too far, you could just clean all that excess up with a makeup remover wipe to get like a very clean finish. I'm going to take more Fiji Mermaid as a transitional color in the crease, and we're going to take that same little pointed brush and we're just going to draw a little outer V with Fiji Mermaid, just going around the outer corner. It's just going to serve as a guideline for darker outer corner colors. I'm going to take Glamour Doll Eyes from the Circus collection. Fiji Mermaid was also from the Circus collection. This one's Oddity, which was named after my eyeshadow is Odd. And we're just going to pop that in the outer corner, or sorry, the inner corner, not the outer corner. You could do the outer corner, it'll just be kind of like a reverse smoky eye kind of in a way. But we're just going to pop that in as an inner corner highlight, just something different other than white. If it gets too far in towards the nose bridge, you can just clean that up with a makeup remover wipe and then just sort of zhuzh it in to follow the lash line as much as possible. Now I'm going to take a little bit of Maiden, and it's just this sort of pale blue aquatic-y color. It's got an aqua undertone to it. I'm not sure if that's intentional, but I kind of see this aqua undertone, but I love it. And we're just going to blend that out into the crease above Fiji Mermaid and right over He Loves Me Not. I'm going to take a little bit of Electric Chair, which is just the really bright white, and we're going to take that up with just a plain e.l.f. C shadow brush. And we're just going to start at the very peak of the brow bone. And we're just going to blend that out towards the back and down a little ways over these crease colors just to blend them up a bit. And then just pull it in at the very tip of the brow. I'm going to leave this space open right here where Eden is just to reduce a little bit of unnecessary extra shimmer. And just for fun, I'm going to put a little in the tear duct just to brighten up Oddity because I feel it's getting a little bit too mermaid washed up in the dark lagoon. Well, I'm kind of liking that too. She does live in like the darkest, coldest ocean after all. Now for eyeliner, I'm just going to take the Urban Decay 24/7 waterproof liquid liner. Just going to shake it up a little bit just to get the pigment throughout the brush. And we're just going to start, I like to start in the middle, and we're just going to blend that toward the back. And then do a little tail, following just like the outer corner where my upper lid and lower lid split. And just do like a little tail. And then just go thinner into the inner corner of it, just so it's not too much black pigment right in through the center of the lid. I'm going to take take the Mary Kay eyeliner in Black Noir, and we're just going to go over the lower lash line and then the upper lash line. Just to conceal any like skin around the liner, which I don't like to see, so I just do that. I'm gonna take Milani Liquify Eye Automatic Propel Pencil in number 8 Blue, and we're just going to go over the lower lash line. This pencil's almost out for some reason. I don't think I used it a lot, but I'm just gonna go over that. After the lower lash line, you can go ahead and use a color you've already previously used throughout the eyes if you wish. I'm gonna be taking a little bit of Bird Plain because it's the brightest kind of blue I have from Glamour Doll Eyes, and it's just a bright cornflower blue. And we're just going to smudge that on the lower lash line to just sort of mimic like a deep blue ocean kind of color. We have like greens and teals and a little bit of darker blue, but we don't really have a more actual aquatic blue. I just have the crest of the waves, which is Electric Chair, but no blue. Just gonna smudge that over the Automatic Propel pencil just to give it some of that. Oops. All along the lower lash line. So to get started on the face, I'm going to take a bronzer, Chocolate Soleil, and I want her to look a little tan, like she's been in the sun, which may not be likely for her area of the ocean, but so maybe Disney had it right by making her a little pale. But we're going to take a little bit of Chocolate Soleil on the e.l.f. stippling brush, and then just sort of bronze and contour the face. Just get a very soft, sort of not so perfect line. Just try to make it a little bronzy and soft. And then I'm going to hit the peak of the forehead just for that sort of bronzy look. The peaks of your face are always going to get the most tan, so I want to mimic that. And definitely go along the hairline just so that the bronzer looks a little bit more healthy and real. And I like to go down both sides of the nose just because it looks more realistic to me. And then I'm going to go into Sun Bunny, and we're going to pick up a generous amount of that because I'm not swiping back. And we're just going to go along the back of the cheekbone and then just sort of blend it forward a little bit. So you're just gonna get sort of like a duo tan highlighted look, kind of along the lines of Benefit's 10 Boxed Powder Blush, if you're familiar with that. So I've owned both. I like them both, but I like the cruelty-free version, obviously. So now I'm gonna be taking a little bit of Powdered Sun, which is just that gold, and I'm just gonna dip into that. You can use a corally blush if you want that sort of tropical look, because that's sort of something I have typically done with blue-green looks before. I'm just going to avoid being cliche me as much as possible so that not all my looks look the same, although you might think this looks like all my other looks. Just depends. Alright, so now for the lips, I'm just going to take a little bit of MAC's Lip Liner in Subculture. It's just a nude color. It barely shows up on me, but it does hold my lipstick a bit more longer. To reincorporate the color of her little top, shirt, whatever you want to call it, and we're going to put on Inglot's 147. And it's just a fun, kind of like no muss, no fuss color because it's a light lavender. Kind of duped this out to MAC's Quite Cute, I believe. So if you have that, then you're set. I'm going to take a Too Faced Glamour Gloss in Champagne Room, and we're just going to put that on to just sort of plump up the lips a little and add a slight shine. I don't really want to nude out the lips. I'm just putting that on for the plumping effect because I'm going to lay a little bit of Lorax Multiplex 3D Lip Gloss in Cliché on top. And I don't want this to be overly pigmented. And it kind of reminds me of fish scales. That's why I'm using it. And I just want that through the center. So I hope that you enjoyed this look. It's been a while since I wanted to come back and do the inspiration for The Little Mermaid, because I do have an old video which was the actual more original Little Mermaid. I'll link that down below, and I will apologize for the horrible skin in that video because I was between skincare systems. So I hope that you enjoyed this video, and thanks so much for watching.